What's going on YouTube? Pleasure here once again. This time I should give some more Honkai Star Rail. And guys, listen, I've been busy, so I can't post as much as I want to, but there's some things that I do want to talk about when it comes to Star Rail and when it comes to Genshin. But we're going to start off with Star Rail. We're going to talk about this guy right here, because this guy finally decided to build him. I definitely underestimated this guy. I mean, I had a feeling that I might have, because he did so well, because he scored so high when it comes to the tier list, and I talked about it in the last video. Where I talked about the tier list there, but I had a feeling that I might be underestimating him, and I decided to build him. I decided to build him and use him properly, because I did test him out, but I figured it was finally time to really give him his proper chance. And well, I underestimated this guy. I definitely did, because I was judging him based on his ability to keep the team alive, right? And I'd use him in harder content being, the Aventurine boss fight. And honestly, he did struggle for me to keep the team alive in that situation. But in other situations, he does just a fine job, right? People keep saying he's just as good as Luocha. He's not just as good as Luocha. Luocha is a fantastic healer, and he heals a ridiculous amount. He heals more than anybody else in the game. But Gallagher seems to fill in this niche that is starting up now, and that is the break niche. And I feel that he kind of signified the start of this new break era. Now, before I really go into the things that I found that Gallagher does great, let's talk about I want to just bring up the different areas and why I think Gallagher is going to be a key player in the near future, right? And that's to really talk about the pattern that Star Rail seems to have. Now, in the previous video, I did talk about the future of Star Rail and what I really think it's trying to go towards. And this pattern that I've seen Star Rail go on really kind of supports that argument. Because Star Rail seems to have certain eras of characters where they seem to hold a lot of things in common. Now, these eras do bleed into each other. It's not like one era, then the next, and the next. Like, as one era is ending, another era is beginning. So, I'll say the first era was the age of the Hypercarry, right? Where we got Sealy, Jin Yuan, Blade, Dan Heng, Jing Liu. We had that era, right? And then towards the end of that era, when we're getting Dan Heng and Jing Liu stuff, we got Kafka starting the era of the dots, right? And we got Kafka, we got Luca, we got Gwenephen, we got Black Swan. I was gonna say Ron May, but Ron May kind of is to be kind of the signal that break is going to come one day. But she really helped out in Dot. So from our perspective back then, she was adding to that era of Dot. And then era of the follow-up, we got Topaz, which was kind of a signal that something might be coming. And then we got Dr. Ratio. And then we got Aventurine, then Robin now, the era of the follow-up. And as the follow-up era is ending, we are seeing the era of break starting, right? And with the era of break, here's this guy right here. Unless he gets power crept in the future. But the thing with Gallagher is that with his ult, he takes off a lot of weakness. He does a lot of weakness break, right? He does a whole lot in the AoE. And also, too, right after that, he breaks even more when he does his enhanced basic attack. And if you have him E6, he even increases his weakness break efficiency. And if you put him with Ron May, holy Lord, everybody's breaking. It's going sick, right? And then when paired with someone like Harmony MC, who does super break, you guys are going to town. If that enemy is weak to fire, well, it's over for him, Which is why I constructed this team right here, and that's a team that I used to beat the final boss, And I've been having some fun with it and such, when it comes to fire weak enemies, and it does its thing. It does its thing, I don't have it fully optimized, but it does its thing definitely. But I'm noticing that Gallagher just seems to be on top of the ball when it comes to that. Now, people seem to try to use him when it comes to Acheron teams because he does his debuffs. I don't really care for that. One, Fu Xuan gives Acheron crit rate, which I find more valuable. And then when I have enough crit rate, I'd rather just put in Aventurine, because he'll do his debuffs and he has more survivability, and I'd rather have him do that. But when it comes to Gallagher, there's going to be teams where I feel that he is going to be the number one that you want to use. And since building him to putting him with break teams, I've seen that a bit, right? And also too, it's not just the fact that he does a lot of weakness break. You know, he takes down shields pretty a lot. It's that he also has Besotted, which makes targets receive 12% at level 10, 12% more break damage. So when this is up, and then also too, I believe with Eidolons, he does extend that. With his Eidolon 4, he does extend that too. He's able to enhance the break damage, because the thing with break damage is that there's not a lot of things that affect it. Damage percent doesn't affect it. Attack doesn't affect it. Crit rate and crit damage doesn't affect it. A lot of things don't affect it. But what does affect it is this, Besotted, where it's actually just strictly affecting break damage. So now he's one of the very few units that is going to have multiple roles on the team where he can increase break damage by lowering the enemy's resistance to it. Fantastic thing, you know? And then you just build him with some break effect. I don't have him on the 4-piece. I don't have him on the 4-piece Watchmaker set, because I have Ron May, and Ron May is going to keep that on, and that does not stack. So you only want one person to have it, and Ron May is going to be that person. And Ron May is going to be on every single break team that I have. So she's going to be one wearing that set. And so that leaves Gallagher here with the two-piece, which is fine, because I want him to have some speed anyway, because I want him to, you know, generate skill points. I want him to get energy as fast as he can. So I want him to be fast, and I want him to have a lot of break effect. Now, one of the reasons why I really want to bring him up, honestly, is that with him, I feel that since this break era is starting, he's going to become more and more valuable. He's going to, unless he's power crept directly, he is going to be a very useful unit for people who are getting characters in the near future. Boot Hill, right? Boot Hill is somebody that falls into this category. Boot Hill is somebody who's going to attract attention to himself, right? He's going to need some good heals sometimes, because he's going to have this standoff mechanic. But the fact of the matter is, he's going to be a break unit, as we've seen. Because they did believe they revealed that on the live stream, right? He is going to be a break unit. He's going to specialize when it comes to breaking shields. So he's going to be somebody who wants to go good with Harmony MC. He's going to want to go with Gallagher here to increase his damage. You know, I mean, there's also defense down units, so I think he's going to go good with someone like Silverwolf too. But you know, that maybe we'll talk about that another time. But this is going to be a fantastic pick right here. I'm not one to really hype up 4 stars. I really don't, but I usually want to just talk about 5 stars, because that's usually who I'm hyped about, and that's who I usually feel that have the higher power level and should have the higher priority when it comes to your resources. But this time, I think we got a winner here. I think we do have a winner when it comes to Gallagher, and you know. So for those of you who are planning on getting characters that fall into this break meta in the near future, I think he might want to pick him up. You know, who knows? You know, who knows who could be coming in the future that is also going to fall within this break meta. Because I've used him when it comes to the memory of chaos and such, and he has held his own. He has held his own. Unless the enemy was doing massive amounts of damage at once, like Aventurine sometimes likes to do, then he was fine keeping the team alive, no matter who it was. And when you have his Eidolons, he cleanses, things like that. I mean, he is somebody that, like, I really, really, really want him to have his E2. I really do want him to have that. Without that, he just feels he's just worse than Lynx and such like that, in my opinion. But once you start getting those Eidolons in there, his E2, you know, his E4 is really helpful. this is like, you know, like nice little bonus there, then he's just fantastic. He is a fantastic unit. And you want to, of course, give him his break effect. So you want to have this on. Thank God this is free. So you can get this super position 5, no problem, you know, as long as you're beating the content. And I don't think I mentioned too, I have him on the 2-piece banditry too, so I give him more break effect. But yeah, you know, break effect, you know, except for, you know, in an energy recharge rope. You know, that's what you want to do. But let me know what you guys think. Is Gallagher somebody that you have on your account? Do you have Eidolons on him? Yeah, are you planning on kind of going down this break route, this new meta that we're going to be falling into? And they are adding a new game mode, so last time when they added Pure Fiction, it really kind of focused on dot teams for a while and then started doing follow-up attack teams. So maybe Pure Fiction and this new Apocalypse Shadow can start focusing on break a little bit too, you know? And maybe, who knows, like this isn't a leak when I say this because I don't have any information on it. But, you know, when these new niches come out, they sometimes release a new simulated universe mode like Golden Gears to kind of promote that too. So maybe they might come up with a new path that really focuses on break effect, you know, besides just like nihility. So maybe we might want to, you know, keep an eye out for that too. Who knows? If you're really thinking about this break effect if you're really thinking about break effect characters that I think that you really need to make sure that you have ready to go for, that is going to be Ron May and going to be Gallagher. And Gallagher for some people is going to be the easier route because he is a 4-star. And do we get him for free? I can't remember, but I think we do. I think we did get an option to get him for free. I'm not sure, but yeah. So, but he does use a free light cone, so he's going to be an easy pickup. So, let me know what you guys think. Comment your thoughts down below. Like the video, of course, if you like the content, and subscribe to the channel so you get more content like this. And with I under here, Legend out.